Hi, welcome to Lee on the Lectionary. Today we're looking at the readings for the second Sunday before Lent in Year C. And those readings are Genesis 2 verses 4b to 9 and 15 to 25. Just read Genesis 2. Revelation 4 and Luke 8, 22 to 25. This week's readings teach us that the one whose word made and sustains the orderly creation for our benefit is worthy of all our praise. The one who made and sustains the orderly creation for our benefit is worthy of all our praise. The reading from Genesis 2 focuses in on the creation of man from the dust of the ground, which has already been mentioned in the sweeping account of Genesis 1. We're reminded of our place in God's grand scheme of creation, placed in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it. God commanded Adam that he could eat of every tree in the garden except the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. His word would prevent Adam's death and bring him inestimable blessing. Here, for the first time in Genesis, something is pronounced to be not good, and God quickly acts to remedy that situation. Woman is created as a helper partner for man, more suitable in that role than any of the animals that the Lord God had made. She, of course, is quickly recognized as such, a huge blessing from God. This pattern of man and woman coming together in partnership is then noted as the origin of marriage. The words of Genesis 2 verse 24 describe how, because of this original design, men continue to leave their parents and become one flesh with their wives. Now, they were perhaps written down by Moses, yet Jesus claims these are the words of the one who created us himself. Matthew chapter 19 verse 5. His good purpose and his order for human flourishing are described in that verse. Skipping ahead to the end of the Bible, Revelation chapter 4 describes a mighty otherworldly scene. Upon the beautiful throne of heaven sits one dressed in white, with a rainbow like an emerald for a halo or a crown. Around him are assembled 24 elders dressed in white with golden crowns on their heads. There is an awesome display of majesty and power, a sea of glass, and the seven spirits of God. Living creatures are also assembled, crying out praises to the Lord God Almighty. Meanwhile, as the living creatures give glory to the one on the throne, the elders fall down and worship him. The liturgy of heaven requires them to cast their crowns before him in orderly reverence and awe. They sing that he is worthy to receive all this glory and honor and power precisely because he is the creator. His creation and preservation of everything that exists gives him the right to receive such worship. They exist because of this will and his word, and so praise is due to him. And then we come to the gospel. The story in Luke chapter 8 shows the majesty of the one seated on the heavenly throne interacting with a disordered, rebellious world. Adam did not listen to the word of his creator, but chose a different path. So creation became wild and death entered in. And now he faces danger from the elements, from the roaring wind and the raging sea, such as the disciples are experiencing in their fragile little boat. They fear that death is approaching, the death they would not know if man had listened to his creator and believed his word. Jesus wakes up. How had he been sleeping? Why had he been sleeping? He addresses the threat to his ordered creation by rebuking the wind and the waves, restoring the sea to a place of blessing for their travels rather than a threat. When the calm returns in obedience to him, he asks them the pointed question, Where is your faith? Why did you not trust me?" And they are totally freaked out. Who on earth is this? Whose word can still a storm? The one whose word made and sustains the orderly creation, and who is worthy of all praise. Why do we not trust him?